Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Olds College and a celebration of Alberta Ag. My name is Jeff Dick, and if you recognize my voice, I'm the host of the Good Morning Show on 96.5 CKFM All Hit Country right here in Olds. And tonight, I get to be your MC for our celebration of Alberta Ag. As you can notice, we are streaming to you live from the Olds College campus. Now you can see I'm standing in front of a beautiful replica of the iconic Olds College Red Barn right here on the campus. It's more than fitting, given the theme of tonight's event. We've got a great show lined up for you throughout the evening. We're going to share some great stories about what's going on here at Olds College, what's going on in the ag industry here in Alberta as well. We've got a very special guest coming up later on with Mr. Corb Lund. He's with us tonight. He's going to be performing throughout the show. Now, just a heads up, we are still dealing with the global COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to assure you that we are following all current health guidelines. We're taking all precautions. We will all be practicing social distancing tonight. We're staying 6 feet apart. Everybody in the crew is wearing masks. We've limited the amount of people here with us in the building tonight. But before we go any further, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge Olds College as being located on the traditional territories of the Niitsitapi and the people of the Treaty 7 region here in southern Alberta. That includes the Siksika, the Piikani, the Kainai, the Tsuut'ina, and the Stoney Nakoda First Nations. This area is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Tonight, it's a true celebration of agriculture here in Alberta. Now, the ag sector in our province plays a vital role in the economic success of Alberta and the country. Alberta is the third largest exporter of agri-food products here in Canada. In 2020, from January to October, Canadian agri-food and seafood exports increased by 10%. That reached $61 billion compared to $55.5 billion for the same period in 2019. Now, as the world population continues to grow, so does the global market demand for agriculture and related products and services. So making the ag industry an exciting space to work and celebrate. We'll be back with more after this video package.
To the farmers, to the ranchers, to the equipment technicians, to the brewers, bakers, and creators, to the innovators, scientists, and educators. Thank you. Thank you for producing the food that we enjoy every day. Thank you for taking care of the soil and water that grow our plants and feed our livestock. Thank you for creating a vibrant agriculture industry in Alberta. We celebrate you. We celebrate Alberta. We celebrate agriculture.
Back at it here at Olds College, Jeff Dick alongside Stuart Cullum, esteemed president of Olds College. Stu, how you doing tonight?
Real well. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to what should be a very exciting evening.
Yeah, I think so.
I know that you grew up right around here in the Three Hills area. So when it comes to celebrating Alberta Ag, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think it means that we can explore the whole ways in which agriculture is affecting society and the ways in which agriculture benefits our economy here in the region. And someone who grew up in the Three Hills area on the farm, I've really appreciated what agriculture gave to me and my family, farming full time for a period of time, and then over my career I've been in different roles that have allowed me to engage in agriculture both directly and indirectly. So I've really come to appreciate agriculture and what it means for this province and what it certainly meant for my family. And it's great to be at a college that is focused on agriculture because this is a really critical industry for our province.
And we take a look at Olds College. Obviously, you guys have put on a number of great events over the years, but this is the first time that the college has embarked on an event like this. So why did the college decide to host a celebration of Alberta Ag?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were hosting a great gala called Homestead Feast for a couple of years. And unfortunately last year we had to cancel it because of the pandemic. And as we were getting closer this year, it looked like we were going to have to do it again. So we knew we needed to do something else. It was important to do because this event really is important for supporting students. All the money that's raised goes to student bursaries. So we felt what better way than to do an online event to celebrate agriculture. Gives us an opportunity to be entertained by folks like Corb Lund and Fallon Mini Wounds, as well as really support our students and think about all those that do support within our community. We're going to be able to also celebrate our Partner of the Year. Talk a little bit about what's happening at Olds College. So, the event is an online event, but we've had just really good turnout, and we appreciate all those who have come out to the event to be entertained and to learn a little bit more about Olds College. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, we thank everybody for tuning in around the world, wherever they're watching us here tonight. But one other thing, how does Olds College support the ag industry here in Alberta? We know it's such an important thing for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Olds College is over 100 years old. I mean, it started in 1913 as an education and training institution and as a demonstration farm. And it was important because there was a largely immigrant population that needed to understand how to grow and produce here in the province. And I mean, if you fast forward 100 years later, that theme sort of remains. And now we're teaching students how to work with technology and how to apply best practice for the agriculture industry. And so, Olds College has over 30 programs in agriculture and related fields. We have, I think, produced some amazing alumni over the years. We really produced the talent for this industry to thrive, as well as some amazing applied research. So I like to think of Olds College as being part of the fabric of Alberta agriculture, and we're really proud to be serving our agriculture industry. I
know so many great programs, and as you said, so many great alumni. The legacy and the history of Olds College evident each and every day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we've got a lot of great stuff coming up tonight. I know you mentioned Corb Lund, Fallon Mini Wounds is going to be here as well. How exciting is it for you to be here as Olds College hosts an event like this? Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, who doesn't like Corb Lund? It's going to be just great, and Fallon Mini Wounds is just a talent that we're going to be able to see this evening. And it's also great just to hear some of the great things that are happening at Olds College, and hear about some of the great things that our students are doing as well. So it's going to be a great evening to learn and to celebrate Olds College, but also celebrate agriculture and how important this industry is to our province. Well, thank you so much, Stuart. We're going to be catching up with you a couple of more times tonight. But before we move any further, we're going to take a look at a video all about the Olds College Smart Farm.
The Olds College Smart Farm is a 2,800-acre living lab, essentially, that allows lifelong learners, students, industry, and researchers basically access to a living sandbox to do applied research and learn about technologies and developing technologies and how they can be incorporated into Western Canadian agriculture and how they can help derive or drive profit or benefits to producers to improve productivity, profitability, and sustainability of ag production.
Smart ag is not a combination of technologies or sensors and equipment. It's actually a vision, a big picture. That's how we see the future of agriculture. So that includes all different technologies from around the world, and those technologies that are being used for different purposes, including applied research, R&D, educational purposes, and of course for demonstration. Autonomous equipment, drone technology, satellite technologies, geospatial data, different sensors, artificial intelligence, and all those things. So they're basically the components of the future of agriculture that we have right now on commercially operating farm.
We're working with pre-commercial and commercialized technologies just to better evaluate them and learn how they can function in a real world commercial farm setting. Farming is risky. Producing crops and growing livestock is a risky business with a lot of unknowns or a lot of factors that producers have no control over, whether it's weather patterns or markets or a variety of things. Technology and data can really help mitigate that risk. It's really important for producers in the industry to have a place to go for third-party, independently validated information. So we are an unbiased source of information, but we're also, a testing ground, or we are a place for these tech developers to come and integrate and connect with other technology providers and with the experts they need to move their idea from a napkin or a sketch on a napkin to a commercial product. So this institution is really, setting itself up to be the place to go for access to the information, as well as access to the ecosystem and the infrastructure required to develop these technologies. Growing more with less, basically, is the task that we've all been faced with or set out with. And our applied research program is utilizing technology and utilizing some of these tools that we now have access to really better understand the carbon footprint of agriculture and the potential impacts that we can have on the carbon footprint and other environmental or sustainability indicators by modifying practices or maybe adopting specific technologies. So our applied research programs and projects are really tackling that, question by utilizing technologies to measure, enteric emissions from cattle, or the overall carbon footprint or carbon impact of various grazing practices or strategies. So yeah, growing more with less, improving environmental sustainability of farming is always top of mind when we're designing research projects. So the Olds College Smart Farm has grown, I believe, from about 1,800 acres in 2018 to over 2,800 acres and growing as of now in 2021, including land here in Olds, as well as land west of Carstairs, land near Didsbury, and land near Lacombe. So the ability to collect data and conduct applied research in a variety of areas within Alberta just gives us that much more, confidence that the information that we are learning about the various crop production trials and activities is valid for the various regions or agroclimatic growing zones that exist in Western Canada. So that's really critical, because if we were to only be constrained to doing research right here within Olds, it would be a one-site study, and that really is never scientifically valid or robust enough to really convince users that this technology might actually work for us, or this practice might work for us. We need to be able to collect data and do applied research on a wide variety of crop types, soil types, and climate zones.
It's almost unlimited opportunities like nowhere else. And at the same time, agriculture is a noble business. So it's about feeding people, it's about helping people to address their basic needs, and to do it in collaboration and in harmony with the Mother Nature.
Welcome back live to Olds College. We are on the campus tonight for a celebration of Alberta Ag, and we are thrilled to be joined at this time by a very familiar face on campus. We've got Patrick McCawchuk, Vice President of Development and Strategy here at Olds College. Thank you for joining us, Patrick.
It's great to be here.
I know it's a very exciting evening, and everybody's pretty pumped to talk about what's going on here at Olds College. Me and you are going to chat a little bit about the Olds College Smart Farm, but first, I got to know, as a kid from Tabor out in corn country, what does agriculture and celebrating it mean to you?
Well, it's really quite exciting. Agriculture is in the blood of so many Albertans, and I was born and raised on a mixed irrigation farm just south of Tabor, and everybody I knew, it seemed like, had an ag background. And when you look across the province, and I think back to the beginnings of growing up in Tabor, you could see how ag was really shaping the lives of folks, and how it gets into your blood. And now working here at Olds College, and as we look forward, we see a really great opportunity for that to continue, for Alberta to continue to benefit from the ag industry and to see it grow and evolve and develop into not just the powerhouse it is today, but something that could be truly special, not just for Canada, but worldwide.
I know the Smart Farm has been a big part of Olds College for the last couple of years. What has the response been to the Smart Farm, Patrick? Yeah,
it's been just really quite remarkable. A few years ago, we did some great studies. We reached out, we talked to producers, talked to the industry, got a good sense of where do they want and need Olds College to go in terms of our training and our applied research programs. And it was really clear that technology and a new sort of phase of research needed to be developed. So from there, we put our stake in the sand, so to speak, and said, okay, we're gonna set out and create the smart farm. And since then, the response has been just phenomenal. We've had everything from large-scale corporations like TELUS and UFA, FCC step forward with fantastic investments into the smart farm, and also donations as well from regular Albertans. In the post-secondary sector, you know you have something that's worth investing in when people step up and actually put their money where their mouth is, so to speak, and support it. And we've been extremely fortunate. This is a major endeavor. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind space and learning place and research space here in Canada, and we think actually worldwide. And we've had just fantastic support to get us there.
Now, we heard a little bit in that video package just about how much the smart farm has grown over the last couple of years. How has it expanded since its inception back in 2018?
Yeah, as Dr. Joy Agnew mentioned on the video, 3 years ago, the college farm was about 1,800 acres, a conventional farming operation. We knew at that point that we needed to make a change and start changing our own practices at the Olds College farm and really focus on farming of the future. But as many farmers will, I think, attest and realize that farmland is not a cheap thing to get a hold of. And so we were very fortunate to have some donations that have come in, along with technology support and other financial support. But we've had some donations of land that have come in. And she mentioned the expansion of the smart farm over the last 3 years. One of the donations that has been really quite satisfying and special has come from Marge and George Steckler. They have actually donated their family farm, which is just west of Didsbury. It's a beautiful place. Over the course of the last 3 years, I've had a chance to get to know both Marge and George, spending quite a bit of time out there talking about what they wanted to do in terms of the impact they wanted to have on students, but also the impact that they wanted to have on the ag industry. And we took those ideas and we put them together with our plans for the smart farm, and I think we were able to just do something extremely special. Unfortunately, George passed away this spring, but the upside I think that the work that we did together over the last couple of years, he was able to see the impact that his donation and legacy is having on our students. Both Marge and George got a chance to meet a number of the students. They could see the actual impact it's having on the smart farm, and knowing that their family farm was going to actually be part of the smart farm here at Olds College, as I think was a really important aspect in the legacy of the Stecklers. So, Marge, she knows that our hearts and prayers are with her, and I think we have a bit of a video here of George as well.
We do. We've got a tribute for George Steckler, so we'll take a look at that, and we'll be back with more with Patrick. Fantastic tribute there to a great man and a great friend of Olds College.
Yeah, George, like I said, it was fantastic to get to know him over the past few years. I think anybody who's farmed in Alberta and anybody who's built up a farming operation knows the deep intrinsic emotional connection that one has to their farm. And so this type of gift that they're making is so very special, and one that's going to have an impact on generations of students, and I think really help move the ag sector forward. So, our hearts go out to Marge, and it was again getting to know George for the time that we've had was fantastic, and we're really looking forward to taking that land and making the most of it as part of the smart farm operation.
Well, the Steckler family legacy definitely going to be a big part of Olds College as the future moves along. For you, How do local producers who want to interact with the Olds College Smart Farm go about doing that?
Yeah, we have a number of different ways, and we're constantly looking for different opportunities to interact and engage with local producers. Obviously, the first way is through programming that you'll hear about later through our Workland School of Agriculture Technology, and many of our students that are coming out of high school that are going into that program. But we also realize that there's a lot of producers that are at mid-career that want to upskill and reskill and learn some new tools. So we'll be launching many new programs and services that will be on the continuing education side to make sure that they get a chance to learn things like automation, data management, those types of skill sets and utilization of technology throughout the Smart Farm. So there's a big push right now to take the new programming that we're developing and roll it in and put it in a way that can be digested and learned and taken advantage of by different producers throughout Alberta. And then we also have our AgSmart event that we put on every summer. Last summer we had to postpone it because of COVID. But this summer AgSmart will be taking place on August 10th and 11th. AgSmart is an outdoor show. It takes place at the Smart Farm. It has educational sessions, live demonstration sessions, and exhibitors. And we think it's going to be one of the premier ag shows in the country here as it continues to grow. So we're really excited about that show as well.
Always some great stuff going on with the Smart Farm. Thank you so much for joining us, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Well, we are going to take a quick break as we check out another video, this one all about Olds College's Workland School of Ag Technology. We'll be back with more.
The ag industry is very exciting because it is one of our foundational industries, in Alberta and in Canada. And, our goal is contributing to the global need to feed people.
There's so many opportunities right now in our industry. There always has been. But what's happening now is we're seeing an opening for others to come into our industry in so many different ways. Within the Workland School of Agriculture Technology, we have the land and environment programs that include land and water, also the agriculture-based programs, so the agricultural management program, the Bachelor of Applied Science in Agribusiness, and also the agriculture technology programs, including precision agriculture and agriculture technology integration.
In our programs specifically, we do have a lot of hands-on, and that's not just with dealing with animals or, with plants, but even the hands-on utilizing, data that we have from our own Smart Farm, utilizing the Smart Ag Integration Center, and using visuals that can help with that data collection.
Our faculty are doing a great job exploring every nook and cranny on what this looks like from agriculture technology, precision ag, and ag tech integration. But it's the students as well that are really focusing on what is that experience, what do I expect, what am I learning? Because we're actually learning things differently as we're teaching in these programs. So we're giving them an experience that is actually probably inverted a little bit from what they're normally used to. And that can be challenging. I see our students being a conduit to changing the industry, and we're hopefully setting them forward with that. They're going to exit Olds College with a lot of questions. We're not going to be able to answer everything, but that's where we get started. When you start to get into industry and you're asking a lot of questions and challenging some of the status quo as to why we do the things we do, how we do the things we do, when we do the things we do, and ultimately to achieve some of those large sustainability goals that we're looking for.
I would say students are really excited about having the integration of technology into a lot of their classes and the activities that they're going to be experiencing in the future and also what they're doing now.
We're taking a pretty wide approach when it comes to the technology that we're integrating into the classroom. When you look at it through the big lens of hardware, softwares, and devices, those are the important key factors. There's a lot of the devices and hardware within the industry right now, but we're pulling those in not only to the classroom but through the curriculum and ensuring the students have learning activities and problem-based learning activities and projects to be able to learn those technologies. So everything from software development, programming at the basic levels, to learning how to integrate devices so that we can communicate effectively and collect that data, all the way to the machines, from solar-powered electric tractors that we're embarking on to the dot machine and autonomous equipment. So we're exploring all of those technologies, mostly around the connectedness of agriculture and ensuring that we're using them appropriately and giving the students the experience so that they're comfortable with it and add value as soon as they get out into the industry.
So the new Ag Tech Learning Hub is going to be a very exciting space. So it's 3,000 square meters roughly of learning space, huge lecture spaces, huge lab spaces, and lots of great collaboration and different group spaces that students will be able to utilize. Very open and inviting and transparent so that people can really see the teaching and learning that's happening in that space.
The essence of what that place is celebrate place. So we have a tremendous student commons right in the heart of the Ag Tech Learning Hub that we want to have excitement and energy and industry flowing through there and students flowing through there to be able to celebrate the transparency that we want to talk about, while also paying homage to the legacy of Olds College and the traditions, but also moving us forward on that.
I think there's a lot of exciting areas that students can grow from within our programs, and they get that wide breadth of knowledge within our, even our diploma and moving through the pathways that students can take. So there's just a variety of careers that students can enter into through the ag industry, through all of our programs. So it's one door, but it's many pathways for students to engage and create careers in the ag industry. So that's really exciting. I think coming from a farm myself, being in the farm education, agricultural education, it's important that we keep advancing that and keep improving that. And it's exciting with all the new technologies that we have to help build that capacity in the ag industry. We are attracting students, of course, locally from farm backgrounds, ag backgrounds, but also we're attracting students that are coming from urban centers that are interested in ag. And keeping that industry alive and well, I think, is foundation to our health in Alberta and contributing to that industry.
I think it's one of the most challenging industries to work in, and I think that personally is why it's so exciting. The agriculture industry has typically been fairly closed. If you weren't from a farm, there was no space for you. But nowadays, you like technology, you like data, you're excited about food. Agriculture is a space for students and faculty to be involved in. So why is agriculture exciting? Because it offers all of that. And to be honest with you, I don't know if there's a right answer to a lot of the things we're doing, but there are better answers than some. And that's really our quest here, is to tackle some of those large challenges, to seek solutions that are enduring as we move forward. And it's our job to ensure those students, as they exit into the industry, are seeing that through a systems approach and are excited to tackle those challenges and not shy away from it. So in my opinion, that's why agriculture is awesome and will always be an exciting place to work, to live, and to learn.
Once again, back here live on the campus at Olds College for a celebration of Alberta Ag. We are thrilled to be joined by Debbie Thompson. Debbie is the Vice President of Academic and Student Experience here at Olds College. Debbie, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Jeff.
Now, we just saw a little bit about the Workland School of Agriculture Technology, and I know that we're going to talk a little bit about ag technology, but first, I'm going to talk a little bit about you, Debbie. I know that you're a farm kid, grew up on a farm just around the Olds area. Why do you think it's important to celebrate agriculture here tonight?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know what? Agriculture plays such a critical role in our entire economy, and everything from food and raw materials to creating jobs and career opportunities across the entire value chain. So I think anytime we have an opportunity to celebrate and recognize the individuals, the families, the communities, and the industries that contribute to ag, that we should take that opportunity, and it's an absolute honor to do so.
Now, when we talk about agriculture technology, obviously Olds College right at the forefront of that. So tell me about some of the new ag tech programs going on here at the college.
Yeah, thank you for asking. We're absolutely thrilled. In fall 2020, we had an opportunity to launch 2 new programs. The first is a 1-year post-diploma certificate in agriculture technology integration, and the second is a 2-year diploma in precision agriculture technogonomy. And so at a very high level, students who are involved in our agriculture technology programs have an opportunity to enter into careers in agriculture that are using the latest in technology to help solve issues around food production and productivity. And students get to integrate with data and technology and really get to embark on and embrace some of the challenges and opportunities that we find in agriculture today.
As we take a look at that new ag tech facility that we got to see a little bit of in the video, how is that going to enhance the student experience for those coming to Olds College?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great question. You know, a building is more than the shiny bricks and mortar that it's built out of, but you would have seen in the video, it looks like a pretty fantastic space for our students and our industry and community to be involved in. But really the value is what happens inside that building. And so it's designed with the latest in ag technology, cutting edge technology and different aspects. But the important part about the building is that it's designed so that it can evolve, so it can adapt, and it's flexible. So as technology changes, so can what we do within it. Some of the other aspects you would have heard from Christine and James in the video. The environment is very transparent, it's open, engaging, and it's designed for networking, not only with our internal community, our students, our faculty, our staff, but as well our producers, our farmers, our industry representatives, and our stakeholders that represent across the province, the country, and on a global scale as well.
Debbie, always a pleasure talking to you. We'll catch you up more again. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks, Jeff.
We'd like to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors, and we will get to that sponsor thank you in just a bit. We'll also turn things over to Tay Miller. We got a very special guest on the way. Keep it right here.
Hi, my name is Tay Miller. I work at Olds College and I also help operate a dairy farm with my partner and his family east of Didsbury, Alberta. I grew up on a farm where my family raised beef cattle. I love working in the agriculture industry, knowing that we produce sustainable food that people enjoy every day. Tonight, we are raising funds for student awards and bursaries. If you would like to support Olds College students, text students to 20222 to donate $20 to the Olds College Student Awards program. Donations of $20 or more will receive a tax receipt. On behalf of all of the students at Olds College, thank you for your support. JD, back over to you.
Right in front of the big red barn, and thank you so much to Corb Lund. Some great stuff, and we'll see more of Corb later in our celebration of Alberta Ag right here from Olds College. Once again, my name is Jeff Dick, and we are joined at this moment by Dr. Joy Agnew, Associate Vice Principal of Applied Research here at Olds College. Joy, how are you doing this evening?
Great, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. A great start to things. We want to know, when it comes to applied research, tell us a little bit about Olds College Center for Innovation and your areas of focus.
So the Olds College Center for Innovation is basically the research division or research branch of the college, and we have a mandate to accelerate the development and adoption of ag technology using industry-driven applied research. So we're home to a small but mighty team of dedicated researchers, technicians, scientists, and managers, and have a pretty broad, I guess, areas of focus within the ag sector, including crop production, livestock production, environmental stewardship, smart ag or tech integration, and most recently, variety development and breeding.
I know there's always a whole lot going on, as you mentioned, when it comes to your department. What is the Field Crop Development Center? Tell us a little bit about that.
The Field Crop Development Center, or the FCDC, is basically a breeding program. So it's a well-established program that came to Olds College in January, and it's a program that basically develops varieties, barley and triticale varieties, for the specific growing conditions in Alberta and Western Canada. So it's a very specialized group or team of scientists that basically embark on 10 to 13 year-long projects to develop varieties right from the first cross to when it can become a commercialized seed for the feed and malt industry.
I know the sun's starting to shine a bit more these days. We're getting into the growing season, and when it comes to that, what type of projects will be happening on the Smart Farm in 2021?
We have a lot of projects lined up this year, more than 20 actually. So on the crop side of things, we are going to continue our work with autonomous ag equipment and looking at seeding and spraying and spreading fertilizer on our land for our farm operations, as well as collecting data on the overall field efficiency, fuel efficiency, and labor efficiency of autonomous equipment. We're doing a lot of work obviously with data acquisition, using sensors in the field and various sensors that are drone mounted or from satellite imagery, and really working to figure out how to streamline that data collection and data utilization for on-farm management decisions. And then we're looking at a number of different technologies just to validate them and work with them on our farm and share that information back to producers and the tech developers so that they can be further developed. Things like optical spot spray technology, various sensors and tools that can be used in the livestock industry for remote grazing management, and a whole host of other things.
I know you guys always do a bunch of great work. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Dr. Joy.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break, take a look at another video, this time about livestock research. We'll be back with more.
So the Technology Access Center for Livestock Production, or TAC as we call it, it's an NSERC funded center with 5-year funding located at Olds College. And essentially what we do is we serve as a resource for the livestock industry. We provide services, we provide access to technology as our name suggests, and we initiate our own applied research. We focus on beef cattle and sheep production, and that encompasses what we call livestock here.
Our projects are focused on improving animal health and welfare, production efficiency, and environmental sustainability. So at the TAC, we have our tech manager, Sean Thompson, myself as the business development coordinator, 2 research technicians, and we currently have a student intern research focused on sheep research. But we also work together with the Olds College farm staff as well.
For production efficiencies, we have our ongoing residual feed intake testing, and that's done on a research basis, but also on a fee-for-service basis for clients who send us their animals. We test them, tell them how efficient they are. They take that information back home and use it for themselves or for marketing their livestock. On the animal health and welfare aspect, we're working with some artificial intelligence companies to look at collecting bioinformatic data to help producers ultimately predict and identify when an animal is sick earlier than they traditionally would be through pen checking, which enhances animal health and welfare together. On the environmental sustainability front, we have a floating island project with the greenhouse sector of OCCI, and what that project is looking at is remediating feedlot runoff water using floating islands. And within these floating islands is cold climate riparian plants native to Alberta, and these plants take up the nutrients from the water, essentially remediating the water to either irrigation quality or good enough quality to feed back to the livestock as water.
I think one of the advantages that we have at Olds College, a herd that can replicate what is being done by the industry. So Olds College has approximately 130 breeding females, and we also receive a donation of 10 purebred Red Angus that both the main focus of to use these animals for research, for applied research at Olds College facility, but also it helps us to learning opportunities for the students.
It's important to point out that all of our research priorities and direction are coming from industry. We wouldn't do any research without having that input and feedback from the producers, from the commodity groups, from other researchers to show that there is a need and what we're doing is going to be worthwhile. It's good to be, I guess, a giant sandbox for the industry to do these projects and this research, all applied, no basic research, so all with immediate implications to the producers, and to then extend those results to them after we've done the projects. I grew up with agriculture and as such just developed a passion for it through the years, something I carry on even now on my own farm. But at the same time, in a livestock research position that I've been in for over a decade now, being able to see what we're testing, whether it's a new management practice, a new feed, a new technology, and then see that translated into industry after uptake by producers. And to be a part of that is really rewarding.
Back from the campus at Olds College, Jeff Dick alongside President Stuart Cullum. We are here for a celebration of Alberta Ag tonight, and there's so much to celebrate. But Stuart, we are here for a big reason right now, and that is the Partner of the Year Award. So fill us in, what is the Partner of the Year Award all about?
Sure. The Partner of the Year Award is an award that we give out every year to an individual or an organization that has had a significant and positive impact on Olds College and our students.
Now, I know that Olds College relies on so many partners to make their entire year go around, and there's so many people who this could go to, but who is the 2021 Partner of the Year?
The 2021 Olds College Partner of the Year is TELUS Agriculture.
Tell us a little bit about what TELUS Agriculture means and what they do for you guys at Olds College.
Yeah, well, TELUS Agriculture was one of the first companies to really invest into the smart farm. We had been working with TELUS on a number of different initiatives nationally, and I think they really got the vision and the social purpose of Olds College of transforming agriculture for a better world. And so they really approached us and said, we like what you're doing and we're interested in working with you. And so it was through a series of conversations and an understanding of our alignment that we came to a pretty significant partnership. And that partnership has brought a lot of resources to Olds College. And being as they were one of the first investors into the smart farm, it really got us launched in a good way. So we couldn't be more thrilled. TELUS Agriculture has been a tremendous partner for us. And we're really, really excited to give them this honor of Partner of the Year.
Let's learn a little bit more about your 2021 Partner of the Year, TELUS Agriculture.
Partnerships are the foundation of Olds College. We know here at Olds College that we serve our students best when we're connecting with industry, so we're ensuring that students have the best opportunities in terms of careers that are going to be not just available today, but careers that are going to be available tomorrow.
Partner of the Year Award is an award that we provide to an organization or an individual every year who's had a substantial impact on Olds College and our mandate and our students. The 2021 Partner of the Year is TELUS Agriculture.
Olds College has been very fortunate to collaborate closely with TELUS Ag over the last couple of years, both in terms of building out our smart ag ecosystem, but specifically within our smart farm. And we're looking forward to continuing that collaboration as we look to bring new technologies like 5G to the smart farm so we can better understand how those technologies will benefit both producers but all through the agri-food chain.
One of the things that I noticed early on in our conversations with TELUS is that they have a social purpose, and they talked about that social purpose, and it was really focused on supporting agriculture and growing the agriculture sector. And we have a social purpose as well of transforming agriculture for a better world. That is a bold vision, and we can only do it through partnerships. If we do not partner with companies like TELUS, we will not have the capacity to deliver on that social purpose. And so we're really appreciative, and we value our partners and the investments that they make into Olds College, because it allows us to achieve that social purpose.
The partnership with TELUS Ag starts with the notion of both organizations really discovering aligned values and aligned goals. Both Olds College and TELUS Ag are really looking towards the future. We're looking to see where agriculture is going, and we're collaborating to ensure that we can support that sector both through training, innovation, and technology.
TELUS believes in giving back to the community because it's part of our DNA. So TELUS believes that businesses can and should have a social purpose. We are committed to using technology to enable better outcomes where we work, live, and play. We see a very unique opportunity, much like we did in the areas of health, to start to look at how you could enable that overall ecosystem to make sure that information and connectivity and data can move from farm to fork. We're committed to enabling and empowering industry by leveraging that technology that we have access to, and by leveraging that trust that we think we can build within the industry. And then when you look at institutions like Olds College, I think Olds College has been around since 1913. It's been a bulkhead and always a leader in leveraging and continuing that change, right from the time I think it was a research farm way back when. You combine that with some of the recent activity you see at Olds College in terms of the smart farm, it seemed like a really nice natural extension for us to start developing a living lab. There are not many places in Canada that, has 2,300 acres of farmland, places where, quite honestly, you can not only look at things from an academic and a learning perspective for students and industry, but you really can kick the dirt. It's an honor for us to be recognized by someone such as Olds College in an area that, quite honestly, we are trying to make a significant difference in. On behalf of everyone here at TELUS Agriculture, we want to say thank you very much for this honor, and we look forward to working with Olds College over the years to continue to develop and enable industry.
I would like to personally congratulate TELUS Agriculture on being the Olds College 2021 Partner of the Year. They've come a long way in a few years, and we're tremendously proud to be a partner with TELUS Agriculture.
Congratulations again to TELUS Agriculture, winner of the Olds College Partner of the Year Award. Very well deserved. And we've got to take some time to thank a lot of the great sponsors here tonight, because a show like tonight's can't go on without some amazing behind-the-scenes work. And our event sponsors, at this time, we're going to recognize them. On the other side of things, we're going to hear more from Corb Lund. He'll be back with another performance. We'll be chatting with Debbie Thompson as well about animal health and trades programming here at Olds College. So stay right there.
This is Brianna Elliott, and I have a small cow-calf operation west of Olds. I love agriculture because I have a passion for animals. I have a passion for the land that we use to produce beef and crops to feed them. AgSmart is a exhibition show where they bring in all sorts of producer groups, tech companies, the educational side of things with Olds College. It gives people an opportunity to come in and learn about all of the new and emerging technology in the agriculture industry, both on the crop side and a little bit on the cow-calf side as well. I think AgSmart is different than other shows because it is more focused on the new and emerging technology in the industry. It also has lots of hands-on demos so you can see all the equipment working. Olds College is great because it's a living lab learning center, and it really gives producers an opportunity to see what they are testing out on the smart farm here. Somebody should attend AgSmart because it is a great opportunity to see everything that's new and emerging in the ag tech industry, as well as what's currently going on if you haven't had an opportunity to see that kind of technology. I would recommend attending AgSmart so that you can meet lots of new people, network with people that have similar interests in this new technology, and just maybe you'll find something that you can apply to your own operation.
Welcome back to the campus at Olds College, where tonight it is a celebration of Alberta Ag. My name is Jeff Dick, and we thank you for tuning in tonight wherever you are around the world. Once again, we've got Debbie Thompson in the hot seat. Debbie, how you doing?
I'm good, Jeff. Thanks.
Plenty to talk about at Olds College this year to get excited about. One big part is animal health, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, we want to check out another great video package about what's going on with animal health right here at Olds College.
We have three programs in animal health. The first is our Veterinary Technical Assistant Program, and that's kind of an entry-level position for those that want to do animal care within the industry. We also have a Veterinary Medical Receptionist Program, which trains students to be kind of that key administrative person within a facility and becomes a key piece of the animal health team. And then we also have our Animal Health Technology Program, which provides students with training to allow them to be licensed as a registered veterinary technologist.
We continue to see high demand for our programming in animal health. They are often the first programs to fill up in any given admission cycle, which we're obviously really proud of. We expanded our capacity in animal health tech a couple of years ago, and we're still seeing unmet demand in the program. We attract really high achieving students from across Western Canada, and we're even seeing more from Ontario and the Maritimes into our animal health tech program.
The key ingredient is they're all passionate about animals, and that kind of creates a bond for them that I think helps them create teams within their time here at the college and lifelong friends following their time here at the college.
Our students have a ton of on-campus hands-on opportunities. We obviously run a small animal hospital. We partner with local rescues and industry to make sure that we have animals here who are suitable candidates. But students love working down at our smart farm with large animals. Our students participate in lambing, they work with cattle, they work with our equine reproduction program to make sure that they're getting those experiences as well.
We try to introduce students to the technology that's used within the industry, within our program, but also we have advanced in our way in which we teach by using technology to be able to enhance the learning experience for these students. The students, when they leave, they're prepared to work in industry, but they're also prepared to use technology in their everyday lives.
We're really fortunate at Olds College to have a very lifelike dog model here on campus. We're actually able to reduce our real-life animal use because students are able to perform quite invasive procedures quite realistically on our dog robot. We have an amazing instructional team here at Olds College within our animal health program. They recognize that the instructional experience that we give at Olds College is part of why students come to Olds College, and we've really fostered an amazing learner-centered culture here.
We have grown our program, but we haven't grown the class sizes, and so we've been able to maintain a class size that enhance hands-on learning. And then I think lastly, it's about the environment that we're able to create for them. We have the farm right here on campus, but also we have the small animal hospital, we have the partnerships with the rescue associations. All of those things, along with the staff, really make a very unique learning environment for students.
Our animal health techs play an essential role in agriculture. Healthy animals contribute to the overall stability of our food ecosystem, which is something that's incredibly important to the researchers and the missions here at Olds College. I think students need to be thinking about careers in the agriculture industry. It's no longer just about people growing up on the family farm. There are tons of great opportunities for students coming from urban centers to work in agriculture, whether it's research, sales, equipment, or technology. There's so much opportunity right now.
A celebration of Alberta Ag continues, and once again we've got Debbie Thompson. There are a lot of great stuff to take from that last video. Debbie, when it comes to the new Animal Health Education Center, I know everybody's excited to get a new center there. How is the new building going to enhance student experience?
Yeah, we're so excited to get our new Animal Health Education Center Along with the enhancement of student experience, we're going to be able to expand our capacity in our really high demand animal health programs, and Mary and Dalen talked a little bit about that in the video. The student experience specifically, where the new facility is going to allow us to enhance our surgery and diagnostic program, to really increase the collaborative learning opportunities that we can offer for students, as well as the hands-on learning environments that Olds College is so renowned for across most of our program areas.
I know a lot of people excited about that new facility and what it's going to mean for Olds College. Switching gears now and kind of talking about trades programming here at Olds College. I know there's a lot of great stuff going on there. What demand is the college seeing from the industry for tradespeople right now?
Yeah, you know, we have incredible support from our industry partners in our trades and related programs. So whether it's apprenticeship, pre-employment training, our ag and heavy equipment certificate or diploma programs, we've just had really high student enrollment, as well as high industry demand for Olds College graduates coming out of those programs. So we are so appreciative of the support we receive from industry.
I know there's just so many great opportunities for anybody coming to Olds College on so many different fields.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Debbie. It's always great talking to you, and we'll see you again later tonight. But first, we're going to learn a little bit more about the trades programs here at Olds College with another video package.
So we offer apprenticeship programs as well as full-time programs in trades. We offer 4 apprenticeship programs, being heavy equipment technician, welder, landscape horticulturalist apprenticeship program, as well as the agriculture equipment technician.
So when I came through as a student, it was the nuts and bolts of it, right? It was how does an engine work, how do you take it apart, put it back together, make it work, diagnose the problems, prevent those problems from happening in the future. Now we're seeing our curriculum shift from those nuts and bolts, the basic concepts, to all this tech coming up when we're starting. We're not losing this stuff. This stuff's very important, but this is taking precedent because this is what techs are seeing. Technicians in either field, ag or heavy, spend way more time with a laptop than with a wrench.
At Olds College, we have very good industry partnership connections. And so in regards to technology, our industry partners bring us up-to-date equipment every year, and our students are exposed to that equipment and that technology. And at the end of the year in April, the industry comes and takes that machinery away and brings us new machinery in this fall again for the next cohort of students to work on. This is part and parcel in that the industry then gets people that are exposed to that technology and are aware of it. And then the students also are aware of what they will be facing when they go to work in the shops and so forth, and what equipment they're going to be working on. So the Smart Farm is supported through the trades by working on their equipment that they use on the Smart Farm. In our programs, we have several lab components to our courses, and we are given access to the equipment from the Smart Farm to be able to use in our classes for demonstration and for the students to get exposed on. So a fine example of that is the DOT machine. The DOT has been housed in our shop for over the winter period here, and the students are getting exposure to it. They're getting to walk around it, touch it, do some troubleshooting, and in some cases even operate it.
First time is, what is that, right? Many have never seen it, or they've seen it in a magazine, but they've never seen it in a stripped down format that we presented in our shop, right? It's not sitting there pretty shined up like it looks like in a magazine. It's got panels off. You can see the stuff. You can touch and feel and poke and look at everything and how it's connected, plug in, see what's happening. Ag's not going anywhere, right? Realizing that you need to know where your food comes from. It's nice to know that when you're driving down the highway, you see a herd of cows, you know that that's important, and the sustainability of the beef. It could be poultry, it could be any product, right? Even the barley and the canola that you see, that's things that we use to feed ourselves. It's great to be involved, right? And it's great to be a piece of that puzzle and a little piece of that pathway of how that goes from field to plate or field to bottle or whatever you want to talk about. And it's not just a grocery store item, but it's where we are. We're in Alberta, and that's the heart of a lot of the industry in Alberta. So it's great to be involved, and I would always recommend anybody, if you have a way to get into that, get involved, yeah, for sure.
A celebration of Alberta Ag continues tonight here live on the campus at Olds College, and we're back for round 3 with President Stuart Cullum, and we're going to be talking field to fork and learning enterprises here, Stuart. Now we hear that phrase, field to fork, quite a lot these days. What does that phrase mean to you?
Well, I think what it does is it represents the value chain, as we call it. So it represents all of the players that are involved in getting the agriculture product from pre-production all the way to the consumer. We call it the value chain because every part of that chain is valuable, and every individual that works along that chain is valuable. And so there's lots of industries within that. There's a lot of parts within that, from pre-production, production, manufacturing, processing, all the way to retail and consumption. So understanding that field to fork concept, I think, is really important. And sometimes it's fully integrated, like here at Olds College, and sometimes it's quite dispersed, as it is in more typical commercial agriculture. So it's really recognizing that. And I think consumers really want to understand that as well. They want to understand how their food is produced all the way back to production. And so if we can show how we're sustainably producing food and sort of moving products through that value chain, I think that's something that's really important.
Well, we've talked a lot about technology here tonight. How do you see technology helping sustainability when it comes to food production?
Yeah, well, that concept of sustainability is important, as I mentioned, to the consumer. And I think what we find in Western Canadian agriculture and in Alberta, that we are leaders in sustainable agriculture production. If you look over the last 50 years, there's been a tremendous increase in productivity, and you've seen a decrease in inputs on a proportional basis. So we're seeing productivity increase while the use of inputs actually go down. We're using less water, we're using less chemicals, and that's a really good thing because our agriculture system needs to be both economically sustainable and environmentally sustainable. And I think we have an agriculture system in Western Canada who really demonstrates that. And that's important for Olds College to really recognize and to support. And so we're looking at how technology has really influenced that over the last number of decades, because without technology, that sustainable production wouldn't have happened. And so we have an industry that embraces technology and works with technology a lot, as well as increases and improves best practices. And I think for our students, we need to give them and expose them to technology as well and to best practices, so that when they go out into their careers in the agriculture system, they have an understanding of not only how technology integrates, but some of the challenges with it, so that they can really support the industry, just continue leading in that way.
Now, for some of the folks joining us tonight from around the world who may not know, what is a learning enterprise?
Yeah, a learning enterprise is really the concept of putting a business within the learning environment. Olds College could train students to be very technically sound, but I think what's important is that they come out with a holistic set of skills and competencies, including how to run a business. And so we've incorporated learning enterprises throughout Olds College. It allows us to produce food products, allows us to produce beer and horticulture products, but it also allows us to put students into the business of production, into the business of agriculture, and they can understand the economics, they can understand a lot of the decisions that need to be made in order to be sustainable and financially viable. So the hope is that through that learning enterprise approach, we're producing graduates that are really well equipped coming out. And I think it's great for the students because it provides a tremendous learning experience. We call it a work-integrated learning experience. And so that work-integrated learning experience, I think, is great for the students. It gives them a really great learning experience at the college and produces a fantastic graduate for the industry.
Yeah, you talk about all the different opportunities they have here at the college to not only learn in the classroom, but learn at the business level.
That's right, exactly. They can learn how to not only how to be a brewmaster, but how to run a brewery and how to really understand that. And we can put them into our National Meat Training Center, and they can understand and learn how to run a business within that space. And our farm is the same way. It's really a representation or a proxy for a real life business.
Well, with that, we're going to take a closer look at some of the learning enterprises we've got right here at Olds College.
The horticulture program at Olds College is steeped in history. It's ran for almost 55 years here at Olds College. And it consists now of 2 diplomas and 2 applied degrees in turf and horticulture, as well as a certificate in arboriculture. So the learning enterprise that's part of the program in horticulture at Olds College is what we call our weekly famous greenhouse sales. We use that to sell the product that the students grow in the greenhouses, and just a way to bring the community to the campus. So we typically have it on Fridays during lunchtime. We always have plants, of course. Those range from flowering plants for seasonal items to tropical indoor plants, which is very big right now. Succulents is still very big. And then we're fortunate enough to have houses where we can produce vegetables. So we'll have greenhouse tomatoes and cucumbers, peppers and zucchinis. We've got some beans growing, lettuce and fresh herbs. To experience the enterprise side really gives the students that full circle or the full life cycle. As part of the course, we have an entrepreneurial aspect because these students tend to want to get into business for themselves right away. So we market stuff as fresh as we can, as much of it as fresh as we can. And then there are times where we need to take that leftover fresh produce, freeze it for some time, and preserve it at a later date. So we have a program or a course here that we can make jams and jellies and pickles and relishes, and they learn how to ferment and make sauerkraut, as well as some home beauty products where we harvest everything kind of from the boreal forest, and then they make creams and lotions and baby lotions and massage oils.
The brewery itself was built in 2013. The program itself is a 2-year diploma program. It takes approximately 30 to 35 students are accepted per term, and they go through learning everything there is to know about beer making, marketing, sales. The second-year students have a hand in making almost every batch that we brew. I think the students in this program, specifically at Olds College, get more hands-on. The students would have the opportunity to come in on their own time and brew on the pilot system, make the wort, and be able to take it home. And in doing so, they get the repetition of brewing over and over. Our highest customer base for our retail store is definitely our locals. That said, in the summertime, a lot of folks traveling up from Calgary specifically to come here to go to the brewery because they've heard of it and they want to try the beer straight from the source. Almost 2 summers ago now, the farm produced 1.3 metric tons of barley, but the malt was donated back to the brewery and we produced a beer. We still have it on tap currently, called Barley Trail, and it was a blockchain type project. And the label for that beer, it has a 2D barcode on it, and if you scan it, it takes you to fieldtoglass.ca, which explains the entire process from field to glass. So the retail store is open from noon to 6, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, currently. Liquor stores and licensees have the ability to order our beer through Liquor Connect.
The meat processing program at Olds College is from live animal to retail cutting with a very strong value-added portion. It's a 14-week course that we run 3 times a year in May, September, and January. We take 18 students every semester, 12 of which will be in the slaughter major and 6 will be in the full-service retail course. Lately, in the last, 5 years, we are full in every semester. Our program there's only one of its kind in North America. We're the only program that trains butchers from slaughter all the way to retail. In order for our students to learn, we have to slaughter animals, we have to cut animal, and do something with the meat. And out of that, we found that the work we're doing, we can sell the meat. And when we started selling the meat seriously and marketing outside and off campus, we found that we could cover our costs and increase our student experience. It's been really interesting that when the students see the meat or the products they made go into the store and then fly out of the store, there has been a renewed confidence in what they've learned, and we see many of our students starting up their own places very shortly after they graduate the program, due to the experience and the confidence that what they make is what they learn to do is marketable. You know, people like to spend their money the local, they like to support the students, and we believe because we offer a unique product line, you can get things in our store that it's not made anywhere else. We spend a lot of time on product innovation. We can actually source our local products. So we are getting a new facility to be opened hopefully in May 2022. And yeah, it'll be called the National Meat Training Center, and our logo will be on the side of the building. You might have heard that the meat industry is dying. It's a dying art. It's often said in our meat circles, but that's the farthest from the truth. We have many young people that really want to get into it and develop their businesses. We're trying to give them the skills and tools to do that.
Very fun part of our program, because when it comes to Field to Fork, we've got 3 Field to Fork prize packs that we're going to be drawing for this evening. As we take a look at what President Cullum is holding right now, Stuart, what do we all got in there?
Yeah, this is an example of some of the stuff that's produced here at the college. So we have salsa and preserves and whatnot coming from our horticulture program. We also have a gift card here for our meat program and our brewery, can be used there. And then we have a few other little trinkets as well. Took, and this is Billy the Bronco. He's our mascot for our athletics program. So it's a nice little box of goodies from Olds College.
And I'm pretty sure that gift card to the brewery is going to be used quite well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we've taken all the registered ticket holders that we had, we put them together, and we can announce our 3 winners right now. We'd like to say a big congratulations to Renee Laughlin out of Youngstown, Alberta, Candace Riley from Calgary, Alberta, and out of Red Deer, Alberta, congrats to Monique Stennis-Coote. They are our 3 winners. They will be enjoying that fantastic box that our lovely stage model Stuart Cullum is showing off right here. Congratulations to all 3 of you again. Renee, Candace, Monique. The college is going to be making arrangements to get you your prize packs. And once again, everything in there going straight to those 3. Renee Laughlin, Candace Riley, and Monique Stennis-Coote. Thank you so much for joining us, Stuart.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeff.
Right now, at this point, we are going to throw things over to Olds College's own Michaela Bauer.
Hi, my name is Michaela Bauer, a born and raised Albertan. I'm delighted to be part of tonight's celebration of Alberta Ag. I love working at Olds College and supporting the agriculture industry through ag education. I would encourage anyone to look at different careers that are available in agriculture. If you're looking for a career that is rewarding and contributes so much to the lives of so many, agriculture and agri-food is for you. Tonight we are raising funds for student awards and bursaries. If you would like to support the students at Olds College, text students to 20222 to donate $20. Student awards reduce the financial pressure of attending post-secondary. When you invest in students, you are investing in the future of agriculture.
Students like me.
And me. And me.
And me.
We are the future leaders of agriculture. We are learning how through technology, innovation, and data, we can work together to solve some of the greatest challenges facing the agricultural industry.
As future leaders of agriculture, we will
evolve our ag practices to sustainably produce more food to feed a growing population.
We will carry on stewarding the land, taking care of soil and water that grow our plants and feed our livestock.
We will continue to grow the vibrant agriculture industry in Alberta into the economic engine of our province and country.
We will transform agriculture for a better world.
We are agriculture.
We are agriculture. We are agriculture.
Back inside the campus at Olds College, once again, a big thank you to Corb Lund for joining us tonight. Some absolutely incredible stuff. Always great to hear Corb Lund on an old stage, and we are joined on an old stage by the very esteemed Associate Vice President of Student Experience and Registrar here at Olds College. We've got Peter Mall. Peter, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. It's great to be with you, Jeff, and all of our viewers.
Fantastic evening as we celebrate Alberta Ag and taking a look at what you do here at Olds College. How does the college support the holistic student experience?
Yeah, I think that's a great word, holistic. When we think about holistic, that means, you know, the whole student. And at Olds College, we really care about the whole student. And, you know, students come for their program. They're very passionate about their program in agriculture. And so for us, we provide that excellent teaching and learning experience. It's also just really important for us to have a great place for students to live and learn. And when you think about even all the facilities we saw today through the videos and things like that, there truly is just a fantastic place for students to discover and to grow and to learn. But I don't know about you, but when I remember back to those years of being a student, you know, there's some stressful times, and it's opportunity to grow and to wrestle with just growing up and getting ready for a career. And so we have so many different student supports and services that are available to students just to help them on their journey here and as they leave us. And so those include health and wellness. They include you know, everything from physician's visits to massage therapy, counseling, and you know, some of the favorite things that we do here include things like pet therapy and art therapy, where students can kind of just focus on their wellness in really fun ways. And yeah, so those are some of the ways that we support overall student wellness. We also have tutors and academic coaches. And we can't forget too that the college is also about having some fun, and we have you know, recreation opportunities, our Broncos athletics program, a rodeo, and just some great opportunities for students to experience college life.
Well, you talk about that, just how great an experience Olds College is for these students. It's not just about being in the classroom and learning what you came here to learn, but having a complete experience and really growing not only as a student, but as a person.
That's right, Jeff, yeah. That's important.
As we take a look at navigating the pandemic in the last year, obviously a lot of things have had to change for a lot of different people. How has the college adapted, and how are they supporting students?
That's a great question, and you know, everyone has had to adapt post-secondary and outside of post-secondary, and you know, technology is just one part of it, and I think for Olds College, we've just really focused on teaching and learning. We've focused on a quality student experience, and we have those front and center. Then all those other things, you know, they don't quite matter you know, quite as much as we maybe thought they would. And so for us, when we think about, you know, responding in a pandemic, it's been about adapting. It's been about pivoting some of our supports from in-person to virtual. That's included counseling. That's included just other wellness services that we offer. We had a virtual a presentation by a Canadian Olympian focused on resiliency and how to overcome adversity, and that was really well received by students. And so whatever we do here is just really focused on supporting the students to succeed now, and also when they you know, move on to the workforce.
Peter, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, it's great.
Now at this time, we'd like to take a look at a very special video performance from Fallon Manywoon. She is the Calgary Stampede First Nations princess, and she is going to be sending us a performance of a jingle dance. That's for you now. thank you going out to Fallon Many Wounds for that beautiful performance. Fallon was going to be joining us in person tonight, but due to the enhanced health restrictions, she joined us virtually instead. And again, a big thank you for that incredible performance. That brings our celebration of Alberta Ag to a close this evening. I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone for joining us tonight, no matter where you were around the world. We had people joining us from all over the province this evening. We had folks out in Fort McMurray all the way down to Taber, as well as from across Canada. We had viewers in Cobble Hill, British Columbia, all the way across to Kentville, Nova Scotia, everywhere in between. A big thank you as well to our international viewers. We had folks in England, Nigeria, the Philippines, and New Zealand tuning in tonight. And I'd like to send out a big thank you to everyone who worked to make tonight's event possible. That includes Blaine Meek, Robin Soper, the entire marketing and communications development, video production, caretaking, and facilities teams here at Olds College. Big thank you goes out to Jason Finnegan and Lynn McDonald, who built this amazing set for tonight's event. The absolutely incredible work done here. Thank you, Jason and Lynn. And to all of our sponsors who supported tonight's event, thank you so much, everyone, for making this celebration of Alberta Ag such a momentous night. I'm Jeff Dick. Have a good night and stay safe.